Well, let's get more insights into this. Earlier, I spoke with CGTN Saddique Shaban from Eldoret in Kenya's Rift Valley, and I began by asking him what impact hosting an event like the Kip Keino Classic will have on Kenyan athletics.
Mahia, as you're aware, Athletics Kenya and the government of Kenya says Kenya is in fact very lucky to have hosted a round of the World Athletics Continental Tour, which was largely disrupted this year by the outbreak of coronavirus pandemic and COVID-19. In this competition, certainly we saw a lot of Kenyan pro elite athletes who had a chance to compete for the very first time in a long time at home, competing on Kenyan soil. A lot of Kenyans are used to seeing their global stars competing elsewhere around the world, but very few times, in fact, at home. So this had an immediate connection between the public and their athletes and their competitors at home. Of course, we didn't have a lot of spectators in this competition, certainly because of health protocols, but the event lived up to its billing during this time. We saw really very tough competitions, and a lot of athletes also who came in from around the world were able to compete with Kenyans at the altitude of in Nairobi, and which was a major shot for Kenyan athletics, which has been plagued by a lot of problems in the recent past. And Kenyan athletes really put up a good show at home, and this goes a long way to show the kind of missing opportunities that Kenyan athletics has been yearning for a long time. And the athletes, in fact, are calling on the World Athletics Governing Body to increase this kind of competitions, not just in Kenya, but around Africa, to give athletes from this region and around the world a chance to compete in Africa, because it's quite prohibitive and expensive to go around the world to compete in this series. So the full impact of what Kipkeino Classic did this year, Mahia, will be felt in a number of days, months, if you will, to come. But athletes who had never had an opportunity to compete this year globally due to travel restrictions had a moment to serve in Nairobi, and I know they will remember this competition for a long time to come.
Now, we have seen recently Uganda continue to grow into a dominant force in distance running, whilst Kenya seems to be turning in the opposite direction. Why exactly is this the case?
Now, I've been speaking to athletes here, managers and coaches, and they say the problems that Kenya has been having in terms of anti-doping rule violations and the distraction caused by the many cases that have come up in the last 3 years has had an impact on Kenyan athletics in terms of the results. And you cannot see that Uganda and other countries are now taking advantage to fill that gap. Coaches are saying athletes have become a little bit timid, not so sure about what's happening, and some are, holding back. But importantly, Mahia, we've had a lot of Kenyan athletes who are world champions, Olympic champions, who have been sanctioned for anti-doping rule violations and who have missed opportunities to compete in these races that have been won by Uganda and other athletes from around Africa, including Ethiopia. Certainly since John Akibua won the first gold medal for Uganda in the 1972 Munich Olympic Games, Uganda has not had something to cheer for in terms of competition medals, apart from very recently Ndiema Kipsiro in the Commonwealth 5,000 meters, and Stephen Kiprotich, who won a gold medal in 2012 Olympics, as well as the 2013 World Championship. So the resurgence seen by the likes of Kiplimo, the resurgence seen by the likes of Cheptegei, is just a small indication of perhaps the untapped potential that Uganda has had over a period of time. But importantly, it exposes the depth of the rot, if you will, that the anti-doping rule violation and doping in Kenyan athletics has caused, with the elimination and sanctions of many Kenyan athletes who have missed an opportunity to compete in these events that have been won by competitors.